The following video is based upon true crime content. Therefore, it may contain images and/or language that some find disturbing. For this reason, viewer discretion is advised. Hi, everyone. Welcome in this morning. It is early.
Good morning, everyone.
Laura's here with me this morning. I am not a morning person, but I have been up since about 4:30. I didn't sleep well last night. I don't know what's wrong with me. When I have stuff I got to do, I just cannot sleep anymore. It's part of getting old, I guess. There's a Mark in the chat. Is it our Mark or is it a different Mark? If it's our Mark, he's changed his name and image, but it's probably a different Mark. But hello, whichever Mark you are. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Hello, Bama. Good morning, my beautiful mod. Are we the only three? Cyrus is here. Hey, Cyrus. Hey, Ann.
And Patty.
So, Laura, is Patty here too?
Yep,
Oh, good morning, Miss Patty. So Laura and I were just talking about it before I went live, you guys. Everybody kept saying they're not going to show it live stream. They're not going to live stream it. And I was thinking that yesterday, no, they weren't going to do that because of the jury selection. But the more that I investigated everybody's claim of that this morning, I realized that, yeah, I think there is going to be a delay in the stream because of the fact that there's pictures of children involved and whatnot. In this case, there's probably going to be. So I'm thinking that I'm hoping that what they end up doing is Fox 2 was the one that brought it to us yesterday. I'm hoping that they'll stream, like, let's say the morning session, and then they'll clip it. And then they'll do part 2 after that through lunch. And then we'll be able to watch clips as we go along. But I don't know for a fact if that's the way they're going to do it. But no worries. We have plenty to watch between now and then. In fact, what I have clipped for you guys recently, and I actually dubbed it so we could have a better, it's almost done uploading. I dubbed it so we could have some better volume in it. But my channel here, we have not watched this hearing that occurred where they discussed her blood alcohol level. It was the last hearing they had? It was on February the 21st. And this is also the hearing where her attorney brings up the monitoring of her ankle and them claiming that maybe she was drinking. So I really thought we should watch this. It's about 19 minutes long, almost 20 minutes long. But once this is played out, I'm sure by then I'll know what's going on with this morning's stream and we can go from there. So if you guys are down, are you down for that, Miss Laura?
Sure.
All right. Let's see. I think that's everything. Yeah, Patty did a great job yesterday, didn't she?
Yes,
really,
she did.
really did. I put up that interview on a separate video this morning too. The other thing too, guys, to keep note is that if they do not play live this morning, there's a couple of options we've got. I've got a bunch of crime news clips that I was going to talk to you guys about of different crimes, different things going on. And then I also thought we could watch in on the Skelton brothers hearing. That's when it's happening roughly in the same area here, and it is being streamed live. But we'd have to start from day one, which was yesterday, and move forward. So we could do that. It's just up to you guys. If you would put it in the chat while I'm playing this, and we'll decide after this is played what we're going to do if we find out we don't have a live feed. Okay? All right. Thank you, Miss Laura. I'm going to put you in the background, and I'm going to play this video.
Sounds good.
All right.
Cause for hearing this 2 months after the motion deadline, Mr. Close.
With regard to the toxicology, we've retained an expert that will be testifying. In reviewing recently, the last couple weeks, thereabouts, with the expert and what took place during the preliminary examination, and then further looking at these records that were recently provided to me, my experts alerted me to a couple issues with regard to the toxicology, the foundation, and the reliability of the blood testing that was done that is going to be wanted to be admitted by the prosecution. So I could not file that earlier. And you have 2 counts, of course, of second-degree murder. And capital offenses, motions, why I respect deadlines, motions could be brought up during trial to protect someone's right to a fair trial and liberty and freedom. And so this isn't, of course, a civil case that deadlines are deadlines and evidence isn't in or defaults are given or dismissals are given for sanctions.
All right, so you told me there's a reasonable cause for the one motion.
Okay.
What about the other one?
We filed it. They have to lay the foundation with regard to private property, or is it open to the public? Judge, that's certainly, if you want to treat that as a in limine, I will amend it on the record and call it an in limine motion. They can't, that's one of the elements they have to prove. So at least I wanted to put everybody on notice, Your Honor.
All right, well, go ahead and argue the second one about the public property.
Okay, thank you, Judge. The property, I went down to the clerk's office, spoke with the supervisor, and this area is private property, membership only, public not allowed, no trespass. It's not a Burger King or McDonald's or Taco Bell that somebody's driving in that's open to the public. This is completely private. And the elements also, I'm sorry, during the preliminary examination, which I've attached to the preliminary examination, that it's private property. The officer testified it's private property. There's no question about it.
Hang on, my video is skipping. I can't stand it when it does this. One moment. See if I can get it back on track. I got too many things going on in the background. I think that's why.
Cause for hearing this 2 months after the motion deadline, Mr. Close.
With regard to the toxicology, no trespass. It's not a Burger King or McDonald's or Taco Bell that somebody's driving in that's open to the public. This is completely private. And the elements also, I'm sorry, during the preliminary examination, which I've attached to the preliminary examination, that it's private property. The officer testified it's private property. There's no question about it. Nobody said that, yes, it's open to the public. You can't leave your car there. You can't drive there. It's membership only. When I went to the assessor for Berlin Township and also talked to the supervisor of Berlin Township, she confirmed it with me. She gave me a little map, a plat, with regard to it, and said that is all private. The county, the city doesn't take care of that area, doesn't take care of the road. The people that live there are the ones that take care of that little tiny private road. But more importantly is the parking lot itself is private. It's not a party store that's open to the public, a 7-Eleven.
We established.
Okay, Judge, thank you. And that's my motion. That just, if I may, Judge, that would.
I'm sorry, but I just love how the judge cuts him off. I wish more judges would do this to any attorney that goes on and on and on, whether it's the prosecution or the defense.
Certainly applied to all of the offenses that says operating a vehicle causing death while, under a certain amount of alcohol causing death, and it would apply to all of those. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. The statute's clear, Judge, that it's areas that not just public roads or parking lots, it's areas generally accessible to the public. I think this meets that clearly. As an officer of the court, I was able to drive back there and get to the Swan Boat Club. Every member of the Swan Boat Club does not live in the plat that Mr. Clovis is talking about. There are members who live out in other portions of the county. One of our witnesses is a person who doesn't live within Branchall Road or the surrounding roads that is a member of the boat club and generally attends there. Therefore, its very existence and the fact that they allow members that don't live there shows that it's generally accessible. People in their response cited the Ray case, which is kind of the nth degree generally accessible case in the state of Michigan that says that all of our driveways are considered generally accessible. And those are clearly private property, not open to the public. My subdivision is private. We clear all our roads. That doesn't mean I can get drunk and go tooling around my subdivision. People think that the evidence will come out at trial that this is generally accessible. None of the emergency responders, none of the guests, none of them had to pass any checkpoints, none of them had to go through any gates. This is an area that's generally accessible to the public under the statute.
All right, you get the last say something.
May I please? Thank you. Your Honor, this is members only, private boat club. If somebody does enter that's not invited guests, it's trespassing. They can be arrested for a misdemeanor. You don't have to live down the street to be able to enter the club. If you're invited guests or a member, you can drive into the club legally. So living around the area, that has no relevance whatsoever. And then lastly is a driveway is private. And I understand the Court of Appeals case, but that was whether somebody had just driven recently the person's own house where he was drunk driving, and they upheld a conviction. But this is like, Judge, for me to show up at your house and pull up into your backyard, and I've been drinking.
Don't do that.
I promise you, Judge, I would never do that because I really don't drink. So, but it's private. You can't, that is private. If you want to talk about earlier, Mr. Clovis or whomever was driving on public property, that's something different in inference. But this is strictly private, and it's members only. Thank you.
All right, well, the statute is crystal clear in my mind. You shall not operate a vehicle on a highway or another place open to the general public or generally accessible to motor vehicles, including an area designated for the parking of vehicles. That then is further elucidated by People versus Ray. There's no question this falls underneath the statute. This motion is denied. Go ahead with your next motion, Mr. Phillips.
The next motion, the toxicology.
Yeah, we're treating it, however, as a motion in limine.
Okay, Judge. Well, all right. I actually need a evidentiary hearing, or I need a hearing to have the officer here to confirm what he had said. I presume this was going to be not an evidentiary hearing today on it, and I would ask any time next week, Your Honor, if you would, respectfully, if you could set it for a hearing.
Well, let me just go right to the point. All right, so I'm looking at your motion, and your motion says the people are going to have attempt to have the blood test admitted at time of trial. They have the burden of establishing the foundational requirements. We all agree? We agree on what those foundational requirements are. Your motion then goes on to say that you strongly suspect that people cannot establish the foundational requirements for the admission of any blood testing results of the defendant. That's what your motion says. When we were here, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I said, well, I'm going to have to see some law. There was an amended motion, now an amended motion to suppress, but it says the same thing, that you strongly suspect that they can't establish the foundational requirements. That is what you're saying.
Right.
That is, sum and substance is what you suspect.
They can't lay the proper foundation, and I would rather not have that at the time of trial to taint a jury.
Don't I need more than you telling me this is what I suspect they can't meet? Aren't you supposed to tell me something in this motion that says why you suspect they can't meet it?
Well, they have the burden. I don't have the burden of the foundation. Just like a Walker hearing, they have the burden, and a Walker hearing is heard on statements in Miranda. prior to a trial, I don't want the trial to be tainted by hearing a foundation being laid that turns out that it's an improper foundation and the jury is already tainted by hearing it. So it's almost the jury's accepting whether a foundation or not. And so it's only fair with 2 counts of murder that a hearing be scheduled. We have all of next week, respectfully, for a hour and a half hour hearing with regard to the foundation. I don't believe the blood may have been drawn properly, but I don't believe the blood was preserved
It
properly.
doesn't even say that in your motion.
Well, I guess, Judge, I'm informing the court that during the preliminary examination, the officer said that he never shook the preservative whatsoever, which he's supposed to do.
Mr. Lorraine, your response.
People just stand by their response, Judge. It's a trial issue. If people can't lay their foundation during trial, Mr. Clovis, I'm sure, will object to that, and the court will have to rule. And absent a Daubert hearing way in the past from today, I don't know how else the court handles it at this stage of the game.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes,
Thank
always.
you. Thank you.
Last chance.
Your Honor, that the vials, both vials, as the court's aware, have a powder in it for a preservative. The blood was put in there. The officer testified at the prelim, and it was never shaken. He is supposed to shake it by statute. Or guideline. He was supposed to shake it because that preservative is what keeps it from being, instead of a .02, turns into a .18 if the preservative is not shaken. And so he testified to that already, sworn testimony. So that's just one item that he didn't do proper. I believe there's more than one.
All right. Well, again, this is a motion in limine. Both motions only say that the defense suspects they might have a problem establishing foundational requirements. None of what Mr. Clovis is testifying here to is in his motion. You need something more. You can't have a trial run on the trial issue. If the foundation is not properly laid, just like any other objection, then the court's not going to let it in. For those reasons, the motion is denied.
Your Honor, I would ask if the court, with regard to the foundation, that be outside the presence of the jury prior to the testimony before the jury. In other words, that foundation is laid, and then if the court admits it, then the trial continues in front of the jury. If the court does not admit it, they have not been tainted by any testimony, and it's excluded. I would ask that be done outside the presence of the jury.
Mr. Lorraine?
Well, Judge, the foundation for the blood, by my count so far, I might have 6 witnesses. So without a more definite statement of what we're dealing with here, what we're concerned about having outside the presence of the jury, and also the blood result can't come in until the very end of that. So I don't know what taint Mr. Clovis is concerned about, because that taint wouldn't come until the very end of those 5-6 witnesses.
All right, I'm going to stick with my ruling. The motion is denied.
And so, Your Honor, the foundation and all that be in front of the jury?
Yes, like any other trial. A couple of other issues that we need to deal with. The jury instructions are due on Tuesday. That's a deadline that must be met. It must include the witnesses you're actually going to call, and those should be in the instructions. The format must be suitable for the presentation to the jury. Also, I had pretrial services send the prosecutor and Mr. Clovis a copy of an email they sent to me regarding irregularities concerning the scram tether that Ms. Chider is wearing. There was an obstruction on February 13th and an obstruction on February 14th. Both of those obstructions lasted 12 hours. Then there was a testing in probation that may have indicated the presence of alcohol. Do you would like to address that, Mr. Clovis?
Certainly. Your Honor, we did do testing. We were notified. We went down to probation. It turned out, or at least some of the facts are, that, and the Scram person that's here in the building, is that it was very loose. Her leg had swollen up because she had surgery, and so the Scram unit was expanded by him, Jeff, and then the swelling went down, and it was very, very loose. And so he noted that the other day, a couple days ago, when she came in for this alleged violation or notice. And so he tightened it. He saw that it was very, very loose. So I think that's what may have caused it. Certainly, the most she wears is a nylon, and that doesn't affect it. But a loose mechanism on her leg certainly could have been that. We don't know. But he did tighten it. It was quite loose. And he noted that. As to the alcohol reading, the actual alcohol reading was a .01. And I think it started off at a .018, thereabouts. My client and her husband, no alcohol is allowed in the house whatsoever, couldn't figure it out. And we went down and met with her. It turned out that she had this bottle of whatever flavored water, and that may have done it. But then, her husband, and can testify today, he has the strips. There's tea that she drinks, and the tea didn't show anything at all, but she drinks it with honey. She put the honey in, stirred it like she does, and he put a strip in, and it showed faint alcohol showing up. A .01 is a .02 and higher is illegal for a minor to have in their system. .02 and higher. Anything below a .02, it's not illegal for a minor by statute. It's not considered under the influence. So I don't know what occurred, but I know a .018 is beyond low. It's extremely below low. And so therefore, Judge, the results, I do not believe strongly, I do not believe that it's indicative of having alcohol in her system or consumed any alcohol whatsoever. Again, if it was a .03...
All right, when we say again, we're just kind of saying the same thing. I got what you said.
All right, Judge. Thank you.
I do agree with you that the alcohol is low. There's a lot of things that could factor into that. I can't necessarily or wouldn't necessarily take any action with respect to that. As to the obstructions are lasting 12 hours. So they're loose for 12 hours and then they somehow tighten themselves up again. I have some real questions about that, but nothing definitive. I'm just putting Ms. Chidester on notice regarding any of the obstructions regarding this, and I'm directing her to go immediately from leaving this court down to pretrial services and have them test her again. If the tests are fine, we'll see you a week from Monday. If not, we'll see you later this morning.
And Judge, if people could speak to the bond violation just briefly.
Sure.
Just people's understanding of it is that pretrial services ran into these issues, prepared a report on them, but didn't believe that they would be able to meet their burden in a bond violation hearing. People understand that that's pretrial services position. People just want to put on the record that if there is a supported bond violation in this case, particularly one related to alcohol, people are going to be vehemently moving for remand.
Understood. All right. Anything else that we need to talk about?
Nothing, Your Honor. You have a pleasant weekend.
All right. Thank you. We're adjourned.
Okay. That was that last hearing they had prior to trial starting yesterday. So we had not watched it yet. I thought it would be a good idea for us all to watch it here. So like I was saying before we started this playing that, I originally was not believing about what was going on with the delay in the courtroom feed and all that good stuff, because I felt like a lot of that was because it was jury day, jury selection day. But it does seem like they're not going live. They're going to have a delay feed, which means that here's the options. The options are they wait to the end of the day and then they play the whole thing, which is going to really suck, because then we're like trying to watch it at nighttime and we're all going to fall asleep. Or we they'll do like the morning session, cut it for part 1, do the afternoon, cut it for part 2, that kind of thing. And if they do it that way, then we'll be able to play it during the day and watch it and keep up with it, because I would prefer to do it during the day. It's going to take us forever if we do it at night. Play the clip of her backing out. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. I have to go over to my other channel. We can all play up there. Okay, Mark. Big casino man. We'll follow you up there. Let me go to my channel and see if I can find the feed. And we'll look at that clip from her backing out, because that is so damning. All right. Let me share this. Oh, we got to find it. Hang on. Let's find. This is the mother right here, you guys. That's the mother who lost the kids. I'm looking for. Is this it? No, that was afterwards. Okay, it's going to be over here. This is a lot of what we watched yesterday with the feed of her going into the building and what the aftermath of it all. It's horrible. Okay, here it is right here. Now, this is the evidentiary hearing, obviously, as it says.
Looking at the current live video and comparing it to the surroundings, the vehicles that were there, our vehicles that were near the driveway, stuff like that.
Okay. What was the manner of the recording? Was it continuous, motion sensitive?
So later we found out that it was motion activated.
The videos that you were viewing at the home, did the DVR have a timestamp?
It did.
And were you able to check that timestamp for accuracy?
Yes.
How do you go about doing that, Detective?
Easiest way, you look at the timestamp on the screen and then look at your phone. And it was an hour slow. So basically 2 o'clock on the DVR would be 3 o'clock.
Okay. Do you have experience with similar video recording devices as the one you located at the defendant's home?
Yes.
And what is that experience roughly?
Basically, throughout my career, approximately 9 years of investigations, we always go out and we collect surveillance footage. And a lot of DVRs, they may be different, but how you get the video off of them is similar. And so if you can get into a DVR, you can extract the video most of the times.
Okay. So you viewed live video while you were at the defendant's home?
Yes.
Check the timestamp?
Yes.
Did you then seize the DVR?
We did.
Okay. And were you able to examine it and try and find past videos?
Yes.
Did you find any videos from around the time of the crash at the Swan Boat Club?
We did.
And were you able to extract those from the DVR?
Yes.
Did you make copies of those portions of the recorded video?
Yes,
Did you place those into evidence?
we did.
We had an opportunity to review those recordings prior to court today.
Yes.
And the recordings that have been placed on people's proposed Exhibit 8, are those the same as the ones you extracted from that digital video recorder?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, people would move to admit People's 8 surveillance videos from the defendant's home.
Your Honor, we would reserve at this time just to see the video, hear it, and then make a decision.
I'll reserve ruling on the motion.
Detective, you mentioned 4 cameras at the home. You've had an opportunity to review this exhibit, is that right?
Yes.
And what camera angles are we going to see on this video?
So specifically, you're going to see the one facing the main entry door of the residence, and then also the one on the barn, which is across the street, which gets the street and basically the driveway and a little bit of the home also.
Okay. And from around what time and what date are these recordings?
April 20th, 420, and so timestamp on the video is going to be approximately right around 2 o'clock, like 1:57 to 2 o'clock, but in real time that would have been 2:57 or 3 o'clock.
And Detective, your role in this investigation, you know what time the crash at the Swan Boat Club was?
Right at 3 o'clock.
Okay. At this time, we've moved to Crawford.
Okay, I want to make one thing I want to show you guys something really quickly. We were looking at this last night. I want to make a correction. So here's the building. This is the overview of the Swan Boat Club. This is the building she crashed into. She came right through here and went straight in. If you go down here, her house is right here. She's at, well, I'm not going to say her number, but this is her house right here. So she literally, what we're fixing to watch, oh, that sounded nice and country. What we're fixing to watch, what we're going to be watching is the video camera from this house right here, showing her getting into her car and backing out, hitting the truck, and then moving forward. Okay. Let's get back over.
You make a statement.
Actually, that video is not coming from her neighbors. That video is coming from that building. That's her own video. That's her own camera, I think. Because it's on the building behind her. Yeah, that's her barn. You're right, Northwest. Whatever you want to call that building in front there. She carefully takes the stairs and then she just gets in the car. That's crazy. Just crazy. It's just a funny walk anyway, I think. But I guess that's her drunk walk. Okay, now then the vet.
You don't know if she's walking that way because of her age and health or because she's intoxicated. That's the only problem.
Okay, that was me from earlier. I forgot I was commentating on this channel, on this video. So the next one, I guess, would be from the house across the street. Yeah, okay.
In what view is this, deputy or detective? Sorry.
So this is the camera across the street on the barn.
The one-eye squinted walk. She walks like she has to pee, Laura said. Y'all are funny. Exactly. I do too. I want to see the video before this one when she was leaving to go to Verna's and see how she looked getting in and out of the car, getting in that one, and how she backed out and everything. Okay, Donna said that she just read that the judge ordered no streaming of the trial until after the jury is released for the day. What does that matter that they're releasing them for the day? I don't understand that. I hope you're wrong, Donna. You're probably not. Let's compare multiple days of walks. Well, we don't have that many. That's the only problem, Michelle. I'd have to go like searching through all my video clips. That could take a while, and I know y'all don't want to sit here and wait for me to do that. I think what we could do is jump over to the Skelton trial. I want to watch day one anyway, because the officer gets up and talks all about the investigation of when the boys first went missing and everything, and he walks you through the timeline of what happened with them. That case is just so sad. I've always wondered what happened to those boys. Yeah, you know what we have around here a lot, because we're out in the country. We have they're not golf cart. A lot of people have golf carts, but we have those little ATVs. I forget what they call them. Side by sides. They call them side by sides. It's sure to take her a long time to get in the car and drive off. Oh, they're playing it twice. Oh, I see. Okay. She's just now getting out of the house now from right here on this feed. They should have sped that up a little bit. Did it end yesterday? I thought it was supposed to be 3 days long. I wanted to start watching from the beginning of it, though, Northwest. Yeah, a lot of people are commenting about these seizures and how there's no way she had a seizure. They've, like, a lot of people said they have them or they've seen it and they know about it, and it's just, it doesn't make sense the way she was acting afterwards. Yeah, I think there is a Verna's
I
Place
wish I
Tavern.
could zoom in on it.
There is a Verna's Place Tavern. However, you know, they're in a lawsuit right now with Verna's, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get anything from that unless they pull it up in court, which they could possibly do that. That would make complete sense if they used it in the criminal trial. Here she goes. Watch this, y'all. Bah.
Holy crap. Oh my gosh.
That's me reacting earlier.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I want to
Oh,
change
she's
something
done.
really quick.
After seeing that.
Okay, I want to, well, let's go back over here. All right, so that's, again, that was her pulling out right here, hitting whatever vehicle, pulling out right here and hitting whatever vehicle was right here. All she has to do, guys, after she takes off like that, like a bat out of hell, she just goes down here, and within minutes or seconds, she's into the building. So I thought that was really important to show all you guys, because I had not seen it from an overview. All right, we'll go back to it, to the feed. After seeing this, why wouldn't you plead guilty, Sandra? That's what I'm saying. Why put these people, they've been through enough. This woman's lost her two of her 3 children.
And Detective, if you can tell us, that's the defendant's driveway we're seeing in that.
Yes,
And about how far is that from the Swan Boat Club?
approximately 500 feet.
No further questions for the detective sergeant, Judge.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. You've had opportunity to review my client's criminal history, am I correct?
Yes.
Objection, Judge. I can't imagine the relevance of this.
Response.
I'll withdraw.
We don't need to watch that. I mean, you guys, if you want to watch that, it's on a video that I put up on Sunday. It says everything you need to know before the trial starts this week. It's 4 hours long, but it's a compilation of her initial hearing, the evidentiary hearing, and news reports and whatnots that have gone on before or since it all started. CB says, anyone noticed she managed to steer the car around that bend? She definitely was driving independently. Right. So if she's not going back over here, she had to take that turn. She had to take the turn right here. Just like I was telling, and like Mandy said, she had to be have her wherewithal because she actually took the car from reverse after hitting the car behind her or the truck behind her. She puts her car in drive and then drives off. So to say that she was having a seizure, did she have a seizure there and then have another one there and then, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It blows her seizure story out the window. I honestly, after seeing the blood alcohol level, I don't think any jury member is going to go, yeah, maybe it was a seizure. She could have been reaching for a phone. Okay, that's a good point. Maybe she was trying to grab something in her car, but she hit a vehicle at her house, then she turns around and runs into a building further down the road. I think that's a little bit more than reaching for a vehicle and changing the radio station. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back over here and check the live feed again just to be on the safe side before we get into watching the Skelton brothers. Yeah, I'm the only one live, so that's what we'll do. I'm going to change it over. I'll tell you what, let's do this. If she was having a seizure, I would have thought she would have gone straight, right? Instead of taking that corner right there. Exactly, Mark. Exactly. Seizure would have meant she would have gone straight. And if she'd have gone straight, there were plenty of cars parked right there. So it just doesn't make any sense. See the road, how it comes along in front of the building? And then I guess, people drive in. There's like no sketch set. I guess everybody knows how they park around there because they're all, she could have run into somebody's house if she'd have kept going and all that. It's interesting to see. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know this. So you guys, this road ends. So she had to have been going to the tavern. Otherwise, she would have gone out this way, the other way. Y'all want to see where Vernus is? Let me pull up Vernus real quick and see. Let me do directions. Can you hear me? Can you see this? Am I muted? Okay, just making sure. Okay. Vernus Tavern. It's a nice little drive to Vernus Tavern. 2.9 miles. Yeah, that's a bit of a drive. So she makes it there back, and that's a good point for the Vernas in the civil case. She manages to make it around there without hitting anything, so we think, so we believe. But for somehow or another, she can't make it down 4 houses down to the boat club without hitting 2 objects. And if you think about it, that just goes to show you. We think that what she did was she went to Verna's, we know she had a glass of wine there while she was having chili for lunch. She leaves there, not drunk when she left there, which would make sense if she just ate and she hadn't been drinking before. So she wasn't showing signs of being intoxicated at that point. So she goes home for several hours, and then at 3:00 is when she gets back out in the car and leaves and drives to the boathouse. She should have walked her butt down there, but she chose to drive that day. So we believe that she became intoxicated at her home, drinking at her home. Now, her husband says this was something that they brought up recently. Oh, there's no alcohol in the house. They don't allow alcohol in the house. Oh, BS. I can guarantee you that husband There's a lot of things he doesn't know that's going on that she's doing. While he's at work away at work every day. She left at Verna's at noon. So, and then she gets in the car at 3 o'clock and drives over here. So yeah, I mean, you could look up stuff on the seizures, and everybody's body would react differently to each seizure, but yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't, nothing adds up, you guys. And then we have on top of that, we've got her doctor who's giving her medication, who we believe is a quack because he is now gone to trial or been charged or something with running a pill mill. So was she going over to this doctor just to get certain pills? Was she one of those that maybe she was trying to stop drinking and she was taking pills? I don't know. Or was this her primary doctor and she had no clue he was a pill mill? What was he prescribing her? Well, we know what he was prescribing her, but I think what her attorney was going to try to do is come in and say, well, her doctor should have told her to stop driving, or her doctor never said she couldn't drive while she was having seizures. He's going to, basically what he's going to do is he's just going to try to mask it all. He's going to turn it into, let's discuss the seizures and the doctor prescribing the medication for the seizures. He's probably going to make a big to-do about what happens after you have a seizure, what happens before you have a seizure, how often she's had them. He's going to go on and on about that and completely ignore the alcohol part. What do you want to bet? That's what I feel like. So anyway, yeah, and most medications you're not supposed to drink. I don't care if the doctor was running a pill mill or not. She's still a responsible adult, and you're not. That's why they have these things on the bottle that say don't drink and drive. Exactly. Don't drink and take this medication, whatever it is. All right, let's I did capture this yesterday. I did capture I wanted to show you guys. Let's see. I put up a video last night that I'd like to show you of the father in the Skeleton Boy case. I'm just trying to think. Should I start a new live stream, you guys? Because I don't want to confuse people. Oh, they're keeping Donna Adelson's jail calls what's the word I'm looking for? They're admitting those calls into the trial. Huh. Okay, Garbapentin, thank you, is what the vet prescribes my cat for a vet visit. Yeah, and that's the one they've given her. It's a sedative, but also would have a disclaimer. Okay, admissible. Thank you, CB. It's early. I'm trying to find my words. Okay. GABA, fentanyl. Okay. Let me start a new stream for this other thing, you guys. And then I'm going to start I'm going to do a stream for the Skeleton Brothers we can watch today. And then I'm going to do a stream for watching the Swan Boat Club once it comes out. Because it's going to be easier for people to find down the road rather than me trying to slap a new thumbnail on this sucker. If you don't mind, give me about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to start the Skeleton Brother stream. And that way we'll be on together, and I'll keep track while we're doing that, while we're watching that. I'll keep track of what's going on with this case. Like I said, hopefully they'll be able to put it out in pieces. If we can't watch this until nighttime, it's just going to be a nightmare. Y'all know how long it takes us to watch these at night? We fall asleep. All right. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Be on the lookout. I'm fixing to put up a new stream for Skeleton Brothers if you want to watch that with us. And then I'll put up a separate one as well for when we go live again to actually watch the Swan Boat Club trial. Okay. Sorry about the miscommunication, but I'd rather be sorry than us miss the live feed to the courtroom. So I know you guys understand. All right. I'll see you guys in a minute.